Have you ever wished you could reach a point in life where nothing and nobody could ever hurt you again? It's a timeless wish, one that crosses generations and backgrounds. Maybe you've tried to build walls to avoid criticism, rejection, or painful loss. Maybe the world has taught you that the key to strength is shutting out your feelings. But what if true strength isn't about putting up barriers, but about becoming more deeply aware and accepting of who you are? Inspired by Carl Jung, the great depth psychologist, let's explore how real emotional immunity comes not from avoidance, but from integration and honest self-awareness. At first, many of us try to protect ourselves by building emotional armor. On the outside, we look untouchable, strong, maybe even unbothered by what others say or do. But inside, old wounds often remain unhealed. Rejection from childhood, betrayal by a friend, harsh words from a loved one. Jung said, "We are not what happens to us, but what we choose to become." What hurts us most isn't necessarily the event, but what it activates deep within us. The unhealed parts, the old stories we tell ourselves. This isn't a sign of weakness, but the human condition. Nearly everyone struggles with hidden pain, even if some hide it better. The trouble is, every time we avoid facing that pain, we give it more power. As Jung put it, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. To truly become unshakable, we must be willing to bring our shadows, those repressed fears, hurts, and insecurities, into the light. Let's look at a real example. J.K. Rowling, now one of the most famous authors in the world, once dealt with depression, anxiety, and poverty. She could have let those hardships define her. Instead, she faced her inner struggles, integrated them into her story, and transformed pain into art that inspired millions. Or consider Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. He openly discusses his battles with mental health, reminding us that even those who look invincible on the surface have fought and healed old wounds. Integration doesn't mean coldness or perfection. It means accepting every aspect of yourself, strengths, flaws, light, and shadow. For Jung, this process, called individuation, is about becoming whole, not just good. He famously said, "Know all the theories, master all the techniques, but as you touch a human soul, be just another human soul." Think of someone like Eva, who lost her leg in a traumatic accident. She didn't hide from her pain, nor did she let it define her. Instead, she chose to face her suffering honestly, and in doing so, rebuilt a life full of adventure and purpose. That's true emotional resilience. So, how do we begin this journey ourselves? Start by noticing the moments when pain flares up, when someone's words sting or disappointment lingers. Instead of running from these feelings or criticizing yourself, get curious. Ask, what is this moment really activating in me? Is it reminding me of a wound I've tried to ignore? Write about these experiences or talk them over with someone you trust. The more you explore your inner landscape, the less power the outside world has to shake you. Sometimes, as Jung tells us, suffering isn't a failure, but an invitation. He once said, "Depression is like a lady in black. If she appears, don't push her away. Invite her in, offer her a seat, and listen to what she has to say." In other words, pain brings messages from the soul. The more we listen to them, the stronger we become. It's important to note this isn't an easy journey. The process of individuation often means letting go of the masks and roles we play to be loved or respected, the persona, as Jung called it. This can be lonely at times, as growing into your authentic self often means outgrowing old relationships or settings. But the reward is priceless, an inner core that cannot be shaken by the storms of life. Let's be clear, resilience doesn't mean we never feel hurt again. It means that pain can't break us or steal our sense of worth. When we accept all parts of ourselves, even those we find shameful or difficult, outside criticism or rejection loses its grip. We live from the inside out, rooted in clarity and authenticity. For all generations, this is both the challenge and the gift, not to harden ourselves, but to awaken to our true selves. Young people can start now, breaking cycles of people-pleasing and learning self-compassion. Elders can reflect back with forgiveness, making peace with their histories. Working adults and parents can model to their communities and children that being real and self-aware is not only acceptable, but noble. In daily life, commit to simple practices that build this muscle. Journal about emotional triggers. Talk with friends about real feelings, not just surface issues. Seek out mentors, therapists, or communities where vulnerability is respected. Read more about Jungian psychology or any discipline that champions the integration of self. Every step towards self-knowledge, every act of acceptance brings more resilience. As Jung said, what you resist persists. What you accept transforms. True emotional freedom isn't about escaping life's storms. It's about learning to stand tall in the middle of them, centered, whole, and unshakable. If you found value in this message, remember, real transformation is a journey, not a moment. There's always a next step, an invitation to go deeper. Let's continue this journey together, choosing awareness, authenticity, and integration. Because this is how nothing and nobody will ever truly hurt you again.